So, growing up in a Chinese American household, what would you say is something that like stood out to you?
Um, well, before I get into that, I want to say like I'm the first generation born here in America.
Hmm.
My parents were both born in China and raised in a very traditional Chinese household. So it was interesting. What stood out the most probably was probably expectation.
Hmm.
There was always an expectation to do better in a
Hmm.
sense of to excel.
Yeah.
And I know that's very common. it's it's part of the stereotype, but that is definitely something that it was indeed a very big part of my childhood. There was a lot of focus on excelling academically. So
Correct. Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger brother.
Okay. And how is he doing right now? Does he like, because does he have like, did you guys feel like you had like the same experiences? Because they also say like, even though you live in the same household, it's like two different upbringings. So, of course, I don't want to go like too much into him, but like, do you feel like you guys had similar experiences?
Um, I think we had similar experiences, but the choices that we've made as a result are somewhat different.
Okay.
We've gone slightly different ways with it.
Okay, gotcha. So when it comes to like expectations, like for example, would you say I guess the stereotype is like grades? So like were you expected to have like A's and everything?
Pretty much, yeah. That was definitely an expectation. You know, excelling academically in terms of grades, report card, but then also in terms of extracurriculars. I was on the
Mm-hmm.
math team when I was
Mm-hmm.
younger. I was enrolled in like extra classes to learn Chinese as a child. You know, after school sports, music, the whole shebang was kind of thrown at me.
Yeah, so I guess you feel that that is what defines success in your household is putting yourself in almost everything.
It's success. uh, When I was younger, success looked wasn't about doing everything necessarily, but
Mm-hmm.
doing it all well, or doing it pretty much as many things as best you can. But as best you can isn't always like how I defined as best I could. It was more so, sometimes it was more so how my parents defined what was my best, if that made sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, so like to their standard.
Yeah.
I gotcha. How did like okay, so let's talk about your social life. Did you have one?
Not really. Most of my social experiences when I was young, whatever happened during school hours, and then past that point, it was mostly me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of um, people that lived in the neighborhood that we would interact with every now and then, but for the most part, outside of school hours, it was mostly me and my brother.
Yeah, I think back on like my childhood for like people that were in my class who are Chinese American or just like just Asian overall, and they were pretty really shy and not as social. I guess would you consider yourself the shy kid in class?
Yeah, yeah. I did not really like talking to people all that much.
Wait,
There were
why? What's the reasoning?
um
Do we suck? Nah, okay.
no, it was mostly a I part of it was I didn't really know how to talk to people I didn't already know, and
Mm-hmm.
so it would take a little while for me to get used to certain people, and then they would be the people I talk with the most, but I wouldn't generally go out of my way to go talk to somebody new.
Mm-hmm.